Okay, I know everybody's got one of these. Get it up here. Yeah. The smartphone. Another Fred. But how many people's got these? You going traipsing around out in the woods, everybody's got a GPS. Now, this is one of the better ones for traipsing in the woods. Yeah, it's a little bit heavy, but it's ruggedized. This is made to be dropped. It's got hard rubber case. It uses AA batteries. It has mapping features and stuff. And as far as traipsing through the woods, this is a good GPS. However, it is still Fred. Everybody's saying, what is this Fred you keep talking about? Well, let me tell you. Some of you might know. And I'm going to make this correct for children. It is a freaking ridiculous electronic device. Now, those of y'all from old militaries, you'll know what the F really stood for. But this is a freaking ridiculous electronic device, and they are prone to going bad. Like, I just got this out of my get home bag, and this is great for convenience. However, when I was able, back before I had my health problems, and I was able to go traipsing through the woods, I used one of these. Actually, to be more accurate, it was more like one of these. And later came this. This was more high-tech. But we learned pretty much how to use the map and everything on one of these, and it was pretty good. But I don't care what anybody says. This military version is rugged, but it's heavy. This right here, albeit plastic, is pretty solid. And it's light. You can carry two of these for one of these. Matter of fact, I like these so well, I'd trade this military one off for a couple of these. But anyway, we'll get off something else. So, a compass. If you're going out in the woods, and all you know how to use is this, stay out of the woods. Stay out of the woods. I mean, actually, you want something to do with your kids, teach them how to use one of these. Get out in the woods, and everybody has fox hunts with these. Have one with one of these. That'd make it a challenge. So you can go out and play hide and seek with one of these right here, and that'd get everybody out of the house, away from the computer, or as I like to call it, the booba tube. So now there's other kinds, and you say, well, this is too expensive. You know what? If you traipse through the woods, this is not too expensive. I mean, this one here, I think, was like $40. And you think that's expensive? Below in the more info section, I'm going to put a link to one that's over $500. That's one they say it's accurate to half a degree. And they use it for people that go... surveying, and it's bulletproof, buddy. It's made with thick aluminum. It's heavy. Don't get me wrong. It's heavier than the military one. And actually, the military does use this $500 compass, but it's used more like for people calling in artillery and stuff like that, because as the military knows, and all the bad guys know, the GPS runs on radio. And guess what? Anything runs on radio can be jammed by some doofus that went and bought built a radio transmitter in his garage and jammed the signal. So, as long as you know what frequency these operate on, you can jam it. Just like a cell phone. Anybody with a little bit of know-how can go to Radio Shack, buy some electronic components, go in their garage, and build a jammer. So, you've got a lot of different things can go wrong with this. Not to mention the EMP and the solar flares can knock out the satellites. So, I would highly recommend this if you're going in the woods, but do not depend on it. This right here is better. And I know there's some doofus out there sitting in his mother's basement in his underwear right now saying, well, what if the pole shifts? You know what? If a pole shifts, they just shift. They're not going away. You may have to figure out which is north and south pole again, but they'll still be there. If they're not there, we're all dead anyway, so you won't need no compass. So the compass still works, right? And people say, oh, I don't want to spend that much. I want to get this one here. You know what I call this one here? This is maybe a 5 or 10 degree compass, for maybe 5, 10 degrees. So it gets you within, yay far. But if you're walking several miles, yay far can put you several miles off the correct course. This one here, if you get a proper azimuth on where you're going, you can get it and you can follow it all the way across and land within a few hundred yards. Now, those high dollar compasses will put you pretty close, right on the money. That's when you're wanting to call in an artillery strike and stuff and don't have your GPS. But that's more math and everything else. So if you want to learn how to use the compass, I'm not going to show you here, because there are 1,001 videos on YouTube showing how to navigate with the compass. Navigation is one thing. Finding your location is the key and the most difficult from a topo map. If you homeschoolers, you want to teach some good math and stuff to your kids, teach them how to locate themselves using a compass on a topographical map. What you'll do is you'll pick out, and I'm not going to show you exactly how to do it because it takes too much time. You'll pick out 2 known landmarks on the map, and you'll draw intersecting lines. And when you get your degrees heading and degree heading, where those X's cross will be your location on the map. But that's all. There's videos on that. It's similar to direction finding somebody using a radio illegally. If somebody's keying up and aggravating the cops on their radio, they'll get a direction finder and they'll zero in on you and take you to jail. So if you're jamming the GPS and you're doing it from your house, they will catch you because they have fancier stuff now that uses Doppler, and they don't even have to do a triangulation. They can just hit you from one thing and the computer tells them right where you're at. So yeah, I know you can do it. You can be mobile. If you're going to jam something, make sure you're mobile and only do it for short bursts. Kind of like the Iraqis learned to do with the radar. They turn it on for a minute, get a thing, shoot the missile, turn it off, and move the radar. So anyway, this right here, let's get back to navigation, is a number 1 tool. Now, I still recommend, what I recommend, and I'm going to recommend something here, is a El Cheapo for your watch band, or they make them that go clip on your button things. That's for keep you from walking in a circle. And then you have your good one. Now, a lightweight one like this would be good for your, or small, would be good for your EDC. They make them smaller than this. So you could put it in your little fanny pack, a small one. Now my go bag is a little bit, or my EDC bag is bigger than most, so I carry the regular one. Actually, I'd like to have a nice one. Matter of fact, I'd trade one of these for a plastic one of these, the one with the mirror on it. I think it's a OSS 70 by Brunton. They cost about $70, which these cost about 70. So, even trade out there? No? Okay. Anyhow, so there's the military one. And here is the one I prefer because it's lightweight. And it's liquid filled and dampened, and I know people don't like it because they get cold. I don't care. I'm not going to be traipsing around in the snow that deep. But this one here is plenty good. Now this is light enough you could put it in your EDC bag and nothing. No weight. Doesn't weigh as much. It doesn't weigh as much as a spare magazine. So there's no reason why you can't have one of these, and especially no reason not to have this right here. Should be in everybody's EDC especially if you live in the country. Well, I would put it, these work in the city too, folks. Not as well, but they do. They work in the city. And it works your gray matter, okay, just go out there and learn how to use a compass. Get you a good one and a cheap one. And get a spare. Put one in your bug out. If some of y'all like to have bug out bags, get a nice one. Get one of the $100 ones for your bug out bag. I mean, how much is your navigation worth to you? I mean, some of you could, if you want they make a smaller one. Brunton makes a one like you see at Walmart, I think for $8. Not bad, but they tend to be, the labels peel off on them and everything. I'd say I'll put a link to a couple of decent ones you'll get for the $20 range. I would more recommend the $40, $45, $50 range ones. And if you like to go traipsing through the woods, if that is one of your hobbies, then I would recommend the $100 one and a spare one. You would have your $100 one and a $40 one. I mean, if you're traipsing through the woods, this ain't nothing in price because you done spent $300, $400 on a backpack anyway. So your little compass thing, which is your navigation, not a big deal. And none of them cost as much as one of these. I mean, this is like $300. There is a compass. I will put a link to that $500 one. I don't expect anybody will want one. You might. I mean, if you really want to get into like survey type accuracy with your magnetic stuff, but then you have to get into declination. Oh yeah, make sure your compass has the adjustable declination, or I think that's how you pronounce it. And that gives you true north, which most of your maps are. So, practice around your home. Go to the USGS, order a map of your house, and take your map and practice. And use it. Make it outings. If you're a family, go on your camping trips. Don't y'all have a every year camping trip where you do primitive camping? Surely all preppers do. If you're a city prepper, you would go camping once or twice a year, maybe spring and fall. Take the family out in the woods. Everybody gets one. And you put a $50 bill, hide a $50 bill on the trail somewhere on a map, and give them the map location and a compass and tell them to go find it. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Would the kids go for $50? Well, give them a choice. $50 or ass whipping. If you don't find the $50, you'll get an ass whipping. And then give them the compass and send them out in the woods. And that way they can find their way around. I don't know. I just can't stress the need for knowledge, folks. I can't teach you all this stuff. I'm not in physical shape, to go out in the woods and do this. I can tell you what I used to do when I was in physical shape. And this, for a get home bag or a go bag, it is an absolute necessity. Do not depend on your cell phone. Do not depend on the GPS. This and this are your two greatest tools you can have in the woods. Okay. Like I say, I'll put some links and some products, and you can do a YouTube search and find other videos on the exact usage of these things.